Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the UPSC 2023 is going to happen in a few days time, and students were requesting me to complete the CSAT paper because CSAT is always tough for you. The Venn diagrams, 3 questions were asked in 2021, and those things I've already completed in another video. Directions type 2 questions came, logical aptitude reasoning 14 questions came, maths 34 questions came, and passages 27 questions came. So in this video we'll discuss all the 27 passages. It's actually 26 passages. One of the passages had 2 questions, so total 27 questions. Okay, maths I will do in a separate video, this in a separate video, and everything in next 48 hours it will be uploaded. Okay, before your prelims it will be uploaded. You can watch it. Okay, half an hour you spend your time and you are going to score a lot of extra marks. Okay, I'll guarantee you that you will pass the CSAT by watching this series alone. You don't need to do anything else. Okay, so here total 80 questions, and as I told, Venn diagram we did it in a separate video. Okay, not like 21 alone. 2017 to 22 total 10 questions came Venn diagram based. Okay, like this, that some chairs are tables, some tables are watches, something like that will be there, and finally you have to tell that inference and assumptions out of it. Okay, so that very clearly how Venn diagrams are solved. Simple question, even a person who don't know anything about Venn diagram can solve it by watching this video, and you will get at least 5 to 10 extra marks by only this single video. Okay, now with these passages you can score another 30 to 40 marks extra. Okay, because as I told, at least 1/3 of the paper out of 80 questions, 1/3 of the paper will surely be passages. Okay, so there are different difficulty levels, and I want you to take a pen and paper if you want, or however you want. Whenever I show the each slide, right, like this passage 1, passage 2, 26 passages I will show. Each time you pause the video and read this. Okay, and try to read it in 30 seconds, only 30 seconds, because that's the time you get in the exam hall now. Okay, if you're preparing for 24 or something, you take 1 minute, 1.5 minutes and all, because you have a lot of time to reduce that speed and gradually come to that speed. Okay, but 23 aspirants, because you have to give the prelims on May 28, you just read it in such a way that 30 seconds you finish reading. Okay, you understand it or not doesn't matter. Increase the speed. Okay, try to increase it. Okay, search for the full stop and go. I will also show you how to do it, but I will not pause. Okay, because every every slide, if I pause 30 seconds, this will become a lengthy video. Okay, so I will show the slide and start explaining. Okay, you pause it, try to attempt it yourself, and then unpause it and play it, and then listen to what I'm telling. Okay, if you are trying to give this exam this year. Okay, so now we'll start the first question. This is about, I already told you, the LED light and sodium street lamp, which already I told you that same day in the GS1 paper, right? In the GS1 paper, a theory question came about this LED and street light comparison. So this examiner, whoever is, was a very lazy person, that he read one article about LED and sodium light, and he decided one question I'll put for the morning exam, one question I'll put for the evening exam. Okay, so that let it be, and that is repeating since many years now. They are using same source for both the GS and CSAT paper. Okay, so now if you see here, I'll quickly read. Okay, and that is the speed at which you also have to read in the exam hall. Research has simulated street lighting on artificial grassland plot containing P efforts. Okay, so P efforts, if you don't understand, it's okay. It is just like in Hindi. Also in the question paper, always a Hindi translation will be there. Okay, so Hindi translation will be written this P matar ka keeda. Okay, like that. So it's a insect kind of thing, and sap sucking insect. Okay, so there is a grassland plot. There this insects are there, and at night time they tried putting artificial light there, artificial street light there. So these were exposed to 2 different type of light. Okay, one is this new commercial LED light, which will be a little bright, that is white light, and then this amber sodium lamp. Okay, that is the orange color type amber street lamp, which you usually see in your streets and all, that type of light. Okay, now this low intensity amber light, sodium one, was shown to inhibit rather than induce. Okay, meaning it is doing something harm. Okay, inhibit rather than induce flowering in a wild plant of the pea family, which is a source of food for the pea aphids in grasslands. Okay, so it is affecting in some way the plant also, and the insects which is depending on that also. So the number of aphids was also significantly suppressed under the light treatment due to limited amount of food available. So amber treatment light they did, and they found that there is some problems happening for the plant also, and for the food, the complete chain, something is happening. This is the passage over. Okay, now your thing is, read the question. So which of the following statement is the best statements best reflects the most critical inference? So I will tell you what all types they ask. Okay, one is most critical inference they ask, then they ask most logical conclusion, then they ask the crux or the central idea of a passage, then they will ask like what are the assumptions you can make from the passage, or then they will ask the GS type statements. Okay, that type, all these types I will show you today itself. In this single paper they have asked all these types. Okay, so GS type means usual passage is given, and they will ask 1, 2 only, 2, 1 and 2 only, 3 and 2 only, like that. A proper GS type question they will ask. Okay, so now one difference is like these 3 are actually same. Okay, same means they are asking what is the idea, or what is the summary, what is the output you get from this passage. Okay, but assumptions is little different. Assumption is meaning it need not be there in the passage. Okay, the statements which they give here in the options, it need not be there in the passage. It can be an assumption, meaning you can assume or make a guess that, okay, this also can be right based on the information in the passage. Okay, so that is the difference between assumption versus the first three one. Okay, hope you got an idea. And you don't worry, everything separately I will explain. Now read the question. Which of the following statement best reflect? Okay, low intensity light has more adverse effect on the plants as compared to high intensity light. Okay, so in reading you will feel like, okay, it is correct, but in this paragraph, is there anywhere they telling about highlight what will happen? They have only treated with amber light. They did not even try the white light. Okay, without trying white light, how can you tell one is better than the other? So with that you can eliminate this. Okay, I'm teaching you how to eliminate one by one. Okay, then light pollution can have a permanent adverse impact on an ecosystem. Okay, meaning you're putting some light on a thing and it can cause serious problems in the ecosystem. So that we have seen when we put amber light, the insect and the other thing is getting. So this is a possible one. Okay, we'll keep it here. We should never stop reading. Okay, all the statements you should read, then only you should come a conclusion. Now, white light is better for the flowering of plants as compared to light of other color. This again, as I told, to compare, you should have done two things, but you didn't do two things. You did only one thing here in this paragraph. So this is also gone. Now, next one, proper intensity of light in an ecosystem is important not only for the plants, but for the animals too. Okay, so this actually in a way, it is maybe correct. Okay, proper intensity may be correct. But here, a normal artificial grassland is there. These people for their research are forcing street lighting onto that. Okay, so you cannot tell that it is very important and all. They are doing research there. Okay, after research is finished, you can tell. Else, normally everything is existing even without human interference. Okay, so for that reason, this is also wrong. Okay, understood why I'm eliminating. You should like that clearly come to an answer which is the best one. That's why they always keep this word best, because UPSC also knows you will be stuck with two options. Okay, because two will look correct always. In that, the best one you should select. So here, light pollution can have a permanent adverse this thing on the ecosystem. And this is a medium level question I will tell, because this much time you took. Okay, easy means it will be like in one shot you will get the answer. Okay, but medium means you have to like this read each option. Tough means it is very difficult and you are not even able to agree to the answer. Okay, meaning that the answer doesn't look good. Even though UPSC gave the answer key, you are not agreeing to it. Such questions are called difficult questions. Okay, so here answer is B and this is all confirmed answer key. Okay, I have checked the official answer key for each question and then only teaching you. So this is question number 1. So next question onwards, I will do it in a little more faster pace. Okay, so second one. Pause and then do. I will be reading now. Okay, you can pause and come back and listen. Okay, approximately 80% of all flowering plant species are pollinated by animals, including birds and mammals. All these things are pollinators. Okay, pollinate. But the main one is insect. Okay, you know, honeybees and all these are the ones which will pollinate and it is needed. Okay, it is essential. Pollination is responsible for providing us with variety of food as well as many plant derived medicines. Okay, so food and medicines, it will help. At least 1/3 of world's agricultural crops depend upon pollination. Okay, that's also fine. And bees, I told, bees are the most dominant taxa, that most dominant species when it comes to pollination. And they are crucial to more than 400 crops. Okay, this is all fine. Now, pollination is an essential service that is the result of intricate relationship between plants and animals. Okay, you know, an insect and a plant is involved, so it's a relationship between them. And the reduction or loss of either affect the survival of both. Okay, meaning one is affected, the other also will get affected. One is increasing, other also is better for them. So like that, it's a mutual relationship. Now, effective pollination requires resources such as refuse of pristine natural vegetation. Okay, meaning it needs proper natural vegetation. Now we'll see. On the basis of the passage given, the following assumptions have been made. Okay, so you have to tell which of the assumptions are valid. Again, as I told, it need not be directly given in the passage when it's assumption. It is just you are assuming it, you are guessing it, or you are concluding by yourself by understanding. Okay, so now we'll see the options, statements. Sustainable production of India's cereal food grains is impossible without the diversity of pollinating animals. Now this, no, morning whatever rule you apply, the GS paper you do the elimination of extreme words, right? Like only, every, either, this, surely, certainly, definitely, that kind of words are extreme and you will eliminate. Same like that in CSAT paper also you can eliminate. Okay, here they are telling sustainable production is impossible. Okay, you cannot tell anything is impossible. Okay, in this world anything is possible because that much scientific innovations are going on. So the statement 1 you can eliminate. When you eliminate statement 1, this will go. Okay, CSAT you should quickly eliminate. You don't even bother about the other statements. First, when you see something, eliminate it. Okay, so now you see 2, 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. That means what? 3 is true, 4 is true. You don't even have to read it. Okay, but statement 2 you have to read to confirm the answer. So 2, monoculture of horticultural crops hampers the survival of insect. Okay, monoculture of horticultural crops hampers the survival of insects. Is there anything like that told here in the passage that you have to again cross check? Okay, if you feel time taking, you should not do this question. Okay, third and fourth you can quickly read. Pollinators become scarce in cultivated areas devoid of natural vegetation. That is sure, because here we told you need natural vegetation for them to sustain. Then diversity in insects induces diversity of plants. Okay, because more insects are there, more pollination varieties there, and more plants are there. So 3 and 4 there is no doubt, and we know that. But second one, monoculture of horticultural crops. Okay, horticultural crops, you know, right? What are different type of crops? That's all GS topic. Okay, so that if you do, it will hamper the survival of insects. There is no such thing told in this particular question. Okay, so that is why you will eliminate 2 and you will come the answer as 3 and 4. So this also, because it's time taking, I put it as medium. Else it's not very difficult question. Okay, but it's not very easy also. Okay, understood the logic now? Now the question number 3. Pause, those who want to pause, others listen to me. A study conducted on the impacts of climate change over the Kaveri Basin of Tamil Nadu using regional climate models showed an increasing trend for maximum and minimum temperature and a decrease in the number of rainy days. Okay, meaning the model is there and they saw that in Kaveri there is high temperatures and lesser rainfall. This is what they saw. These climatic shift will have an impact on the hydrological cycles in the region. Okay, obviously in the water cycle some problem will come. It will lead to more runoff and less recharge and affect the groundwater table. Okay, it will affect the water overall. That is what they are telling. Further, there has been an increase in the frequency of drought. Again, water related something is happening. Now, this has driven farmers to increase dependency on groundwater. Okay, because the other waters are getting over, so groundwater they are relying, but the groundwater also ultimately will get affected. This is the overall gist of this. Okay, and that is what they are asking. Reflects the crux of the passage. Okay, so best crux of the passage. Okay, now, development of regional climate models helps in choosing climate smart agriculture practice. Here nowhere they are telling about any smart agriculture thing. Okay, they are just telling they will be shifted to the groundwater resource. That is not any smart practice. Okay, so this is gone. Now, heavy dependence on groundwater resources can be reduced by adopting dryland cropping system. Again, such nowhere they are telling any technique in this. Okay, they are not telling. Climate changes increase the criticality of water resources while simultaneously threatening it. This is kind of true. Okay, it is affecting the water problem. Completely water critical issues are coming. Now, climate changes cause the farmers to adopt unsustainable livelihood and risky coping strategy. Okay, this kind of nowhere it is told. Okay, they're just telling it will go to groundwater resource. That doesn't mean it is going to unsustainable livelihood. So this is also wrong. You got the answer as C. Okay, so this is kind of an easy, I will tell, but because again, first time you are doing, I will put it medium. Okay, but actually it's a very, very easy question because the options were so easy to solve. Okay, now next one. Pause, those who want to pause. Researchers were able to use stem cells to gauge the neurotoxic effect of the environment pollutant bisphenol. This again, the same year, 2021 in the morning GS paper, there was a GS question on what is bisphenol and what is its plastic name. Okay, there's like whether it is a polyteraphthalene or whether it is a something. Okay, DPT, DFT, some plastic names they gave and asked to identify what is bisphenol. Okay, in the morning paper. And in the evening paper, they asked the essay. Okay, so now they used a combination of biochemical and cell-based assays to examine the gene expression profile during the differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells upon treatment with BPA. Okay, meaning some stem cells they are taking an animal thing and they are treating with BPA and they are checking. Okay, this compound is actually causing a lot of problems also. Heart diseases, diabetes, developmental abnormality, many things. Okay, so they were able to detect and measure BPA toxicity towards the proper specification of primary germ layers such as endoderm and ectoderm and the establishment of a neural progenitor cell. So now this when you see, you will find it very difficult. The passage is very, very difficult. Okay, now but the good thing is, I will tell you a hint or a clue or a tip actually. The more difficult the passage is, the more easy the options will be. Okay, the statements will be. And so never skip a difficult passage. When you see some passage is tough, right? Directly go and read the statements. Instead of reading the passage, directly read this thing. Okay, question. Then you will see that there will be some very silly thing which you could have eliminated and come to the answer directly. Okay, here also see 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1. Meaning any one statement, if you find it wrong, you get the answer directly. Okay, so here see the second statement. Biochemical and cell-based assays are useful in finding out treatments for pollution-induced diseases. Okay, This pollution induced or finding out treatments or medicines and all is nowhere mentioned in this passage. Okay, they're just telling they used that methods to study the gene expression profile and see what is the toxicity and what is not happening. They did not tell that they will find solution to it or they found the treatment for all these problems. Okay, so statement 2 is wrong. So if you know statement 2 is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and you directly get the answer as 1 and 3 only. So difficult passage, easy options, answer is C. Okay, so ideally in your exam, okay, when you see a difficult passage, immediately read especially if the options are like this. If it is 1 and 2, 2 and 3, this kind of thing where 1 you eliminate and get the answer, please read the question first. Okay, so please do that side by side. Always don't go by reading word by word and waste your time. Okay, because the science thing, you will try to keenly understand what each line means and you will finally find out it was of no use. Okay, so here if you see 1 and 3 is true. Okay, BPA may alter embryonic development and embryonic this thing would serve as a model to evaluate this thing. Okay, meaning it is useful to study. Okay, these two things are actually telling that only. So that two are true. Okay, so for your GS paper, in case they want to trouble you, they will ask those statements, statement 1 and 3. Okay, now next one. This is again a little, I think, easy question. Fig tree, you would have heard fig trees, about which I am sure GS question will come, are considered sacred in India. Okay, not only India, East Asia, Africa, everywhere it is sacred. Okay, a holy tree kind of thing. And are common in agriculture and urban landscape where other large trees are absent. Okay, meaning urban places where people are living, there these trees can be found because it is holy, it is sacred. Okay, like you have a tulsi plant and all in your house, they have this. So in natural forest, in natural forest, fig trees provide food for wildlife when other resources are scarce and support a high density and diversity of frugivorous. Frugivorous means the fruit-eating animals. Okay, fruit-eating bat is there, fruit-eating like squirrel kind of things are there. So these are all fruit-eating. So those things are attracted towards this tree. Okay, now if frugivorous birds and bats continue to visit fig trees located in sites with high human disturbance, then sacred fig trees may promote frugivore abundance. Okay, meaning again, if there are people there, there are trees there and these are attracted towards there, then there will become abundance of that frugivorous. Now under favorable microclimate, plenty of seedlings of other tree species would also grow around the fig trees. Okay, overall they are telling a very good thing about fig. Fig is overall good for everyone, in urban also, in natural also. Now we will find the following assumptions. Okay, so fig tree can often be keystone species in natural forest. Okay, so as I told, when it's assumptions, it need not be directly given in the passage. You should assume it, you should understand it, and it's actually true. Okay, because do you know what is keystone species? It's asked in GS paper already. Keystone species means if that plant or animal or something is available in that area, it will affect the entire ecosystem. It will be like some other people will be depending on that. It will help in the growth of other plants. It will give some food to other people around. So that is very essential. It's a keystone, very important species of that area. And that is exactly what is told in this full passage. So you can assume from this passage that fig tree can often be keystone species in natural forest. Okay, so 1 is needed in the answer. So eliminate this and eliminate this. Now it's like either 2 or 3 and 4. Okay, so 2 we see. Fig tree can grow where other large woody species cannot grow. Okay, there is nowhere in the passage talking about woody. Okay, woody is like which has that thick bark and all that woody kind of tree. Here they are telling where other large trees are absent, there it will grow, and they are telling about urban landscape. But here they are telling about fig trees can grow where, meaning in general, wherever, where other large woody species cannot grow. So this is not, it should not be in the answer. It's a doubtful one. Okay, again read 3 and 4. Sacred trees can have a role in biodiversity conservation. Okay, again the same thing. For the biodiversity to improve, sacred trees, okay, meanings which are holy, like if there is a tulsi plant in your house, you will not dare to go and pluck it and throw, because your parents won't allow, or whoever is very orthodox and religious, they will not allow to do that. Okay, so it will help obviously in the conservation of these species. Okay, so 3 is needed in the answer. Read the 4th one. Fig trees have a role in the seed dispersal of other tree species. This is what's told here. Okay, it will help in the growth of other seedlings of other trees. So it will help in the seed dispersal of other things. So 4 is also needed. So obviously even if 3 and 2 you are doubting, 4 is anyway needed. And there is only one option which has 1 and 4 together, and that is option D. So this is a medium level or kind of easy actually. Answer D. Okay. Next one. Those who want to pause can pause. At the heart of agroecology is the idea that agroecosystems could mimic the biodiversity levels and functioning of natural ecosystem. Okay, meaning whatever is this agroecology, they are mimicking the actual system only, the natural system, okay, where there are no humans and trees and plants are growing, that they are trying to mimic. Okay, so such agricultural mimic, like their natural models, can be productive, pest resistant, nutrient conserving, resilient to shocks and stresses. Okay, so all these things they told about that. Now in ecosystems, there is no waste Okay, nutrients are recycled indefinitely. Okay, in such ecosystem, meaning it is like there's no artificial things and all. Everything naturally, what it is going on, getting recycled and again used by the plants. Okay, see, agroecology aims at closing nutrient loops, that is returning all the nutrients that come out of the soil back to the soil. Okay, meaning so it's like a plant soil. It's a cycle. Okay, you don't need to go and interfere and spoil it. Okay, such as through application of farmyard manure. Okay, meaning the natural manure you can put, no any artificial and all. So it also harnesses natural process to control pest and build soil fertility, that is through intercropping. Okay, meaning multiple types of crop. Then agroecological practices include integrating trees with livestock and crops. Again, that everything together. Okay, the trees, the livestock are there, the crops are there, everything together. Okay, so now consider the following, and they have given different types of agriculture, and which of the above farming practice can be compatible with agroecology. So this much you understood. In this, which all are possible agroecology? Okay, it's a very easy question actually. All these UPSC have asked. Okay, 2022 I think they asked fertigation. Before that they asked vertical farming. Every year one of this form was asked. So again I'm telling, UPSC has read some big paragraph or big book about agriculture, and from there they are making questions for both GS and CSAT, not 1 year, repeatedly year after year. Okay, I don't know which book they are reading, but that is what they are doing. Okay, so now here consider the following. So here again, if you know the basic meaning, fertigation, as I told, if you have done the GS paper, you will know fertigation just means fertilizer plus irrigation. Okay, meaning you are adding your potassium, nitrogen, this thing into water and giving it to the plants. So here I told you there is no artificial fertilizer, it is just natural. So fertigation you can eliminate there itself. Okay, so when you eliminate that, this is gone, this is gone. So what happens is 4 becomes correct, because here also 4 is there, here also 4 is there, and 4 is mixed farming. Mixed farming is what? Here I told you, intercropping. Okay, you are putting different types of crops together. Okay, and if you know proper agriculture, you should understand that polyculture and mixed farming are same. Okay, it's just 2 different names for the same thing. So they very cleverly gave that. So 4 and 5 both are needed in the answer. Okay, 4 and 5 are both needed in the answer, means this will become this one, 1, 4, 5. And 1 is what? Cover crops, meaning you are just covering the crops for protecting soil. So that's a natural process. So here agroecology is natural only. So 1 is needed, 4 is needed, 5 is needed. What is hydroponics? Hydroponics is instead of soil, you have like a bucket of like water kind of thing, and inside the water, the roots are there. Meaning in this same like fertigation, in this water, you will introduce all the chemicals, the fertilizer, and let this thing grow. There is no soil, there is 0 soil. So hydroponics also you can eliminate. Okay, this both are water related. Okay, then what is the remaining? Vertical farming. Vertical farming also, it is not natural. Here they are telling what? Mimicking the natural. Okay, vertical farming, even inside shopping complexes you can see, inside the airport and all you can see vertically they are growing thing, or indoor planting is there nowadays, the people are doing. That and all is artificial type. Okay, it's not natural sunlight and all every time they are using. It's like LED lights and all they use to make that plant grow. So everything artificial you remove and you get the answer. Okay, cover crops, mixed farming, polyculture. Answer is 145. This is more of a GS question actually. Okay, in case suppose tomorrow UPSC will not give you this passage directly in GS1. Okay, directly in GS1 will give you this question alone. You should solve it. Okay, because this doesn't need that passage actually. You should know the meaning of agroecology. That's all. Okay, so this is a medium answer A. Now next one, those who want to pause can pause. Computers increasingly deal not just with abstract data like credit card details and databases, but also with the real world of physical objects and vulnerable human bodies. Okay, so it's like overall humans are getting affected. Now a modern car is a computer on wheels. An aeroplane is a computer on wings, meaning everything is like this new concept, Internet of Things, about which again, as I told, prelims question came. So GS question came. So these people I told now reading one passage and making questions for morning and evening. So Internet of Things, where everything is connected to each other, everything is dependent on each other. Okay, computers baked into everything from road signs, MRI scanners, prosthetics, insulin pumps, everywhere. There is little evidence that these gadgets will be any more trustworthy than their desktop counterparts. Okay, so there is no evidence that whether they are more trustworthy or not. Hackers have already proved that they can take remote control of internet connected cars and pacemaker. You would have seen like pacemaker you are hacking, and even you can cause an artificial kind of heart attack by sitting outside. Okay, that can be controlled from outside. So that is why it's very risky. So now most critical inference. Okay, meaning what do you understand from the passage? Okay, computers are not completely safe. Okay, this is true only. Now we'll see the other things. Companies producing the software do not take care of cybersecurity seriously. Okay, nowhere such things is told. Okay, that they don't take any cybersecurity. There's nothing told like this in the passage. Stringent data security laws are needed. This is needed, but in the passage, is it told anywhere? There's nothing told about data loss. Okay, this is also gone. Always you have to read the passage. Okay, made from the passage they are asking. Okay, now the present trend of communication technologies will affect our lives in future. Okay, that can affect, obviously. You are using now your AR, VR, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, everything will come in future. Obviously, it will affect in lives in future. But that is not told here. It is told about how it is unsafe, or whether we cannot trust it, whether it is safe or not. That is what is the overall gist of this passage. Okay, so that is why computers are not completely safe. So this is an easy question, answer A. Okay, next one, a little lengthy. Those who want to pause can pause. A social and physical environment riddled with poverty, inequities, unhygienic and insanitary conditions generate the risk of infectious disease. Okay, all these can cause infectious disease. Now, hygiene has three different levels. Okay, personal level, domestic level, community level. Now, there is no doubt that the personal cleanliness brings down the rate of infectious disease. Meaning, personally, if you are hygienic, your disease will come down. Okay, but the entry of the market into this domain has created a false sense of security that gets conditioned and reinforced by the onslaught of advertisements. Okay, so ads are coming, markets are involving, governments are involving. So there's a false sense of security which is coming now. Okay, now experience in Western Europe shows that along with personal hygiene, general improvements in environmental conditions and components like this clean water, sanitation and food security have brought down infectious rate. Okay, meaning all these good things have reduced the child infections and all. Now, the obsession with hand hygiene also brings in the persisting influence of the market on personal health, overriding or marginalizing the negative impact on ecology and the emergence of resistant germs. So, it's a very lengthy sentence, and I am sure that most of you did not follow that. Okay, the obsessions with hand hygiene brings in the persisting influence of the market on personal health, overriding or marginalizing the negative impact on ecology and the emergence of resistant germs. Okay, so there is negative impact on the environment or ecology, and also there is emergence of more resistant germs, okay, which are resistant to all your whatever you do. Okay, so such things can happen. That is the general gist. So it's a little lengthy, and this I will consider as a difficult question. Okay, because you have to read this much, and the statements are also lengthy. Okay, so now on the basis of the passage given below, the following assumptions have been made. People who are obsessed with personal hygiene tend to ignore the community hygiene. This is actually a very, very negative statement. Okay, even if you read the passage or not the thing, they are telling whoever care of personal hygiene does not care about community hygiene. So for this reason, this you can eliminate. Okay, so that is one good thing. As I told, when difficult passage comes, sometimes the options will be very easy. Okay, so that is why instead of wasting time on reading this passage, whenever you see a big passage, try to directly read the question. So what happens is, see, 2 also gone. So along with 1, 2 also gone, because it's 3 and 4 and 4 and 5. So 4 becomes automatically correct. Okay, 4 is what? Scientific and micro level interventions are not sufficient to bring down the burden of infectious disease. Meaning it looks negative, but they are telling this is alone is not sufficient, like scientific or government interference. That is not enough. People also have to do good things, right? So there are more things to be done. So it's not sufficient. Okay, so they're not telling completely not. They're telling not sufficient, not enough. Okay, so 4 is true, and you don't have to worry about that, because automatically 4 is true because we eliminated 1. Okay, now it's only about 3 and 5. Okay, second one also, if you want to read, emergence of multi-drug resistant germs can be prevented by personal cleanliness. Okay, just by you personally keeping cleanliness, you cannot stop these things and all. Okay, so this cannot be a true statement. Okay, that is why it is not there in the answer also. Okay, you are telling you can prevent it. You cannot prevent it. Okay, it's a big thing. This multi-drug resistance and all, just by you say being clean, you cannot do that. Okay, now statement 3, entry of the market in the domain of hygiene increases the risk of infectious disease. Okay, entry of the market in the domain of hygiene increases the risk of infectious disease. We are not sure, and it is no need that necessarily it should happen. Now see the 5th one. It is community hygiene implemented through the public health measures that is really effective in the battle against infectious disease. Okay, meaning they are telling there should be community hygiene implemented through the public health measures that is really effective. Okay, this looks more kind of true. Okay, so here the answer, if you see, it is that only, because this is the one which looks more true. Okay, answer C, 4 and 5. Because I told this one, entry of the market in the domain of hygiene increases the risk of infectious diseases. There is no necessity that it should increase. Okay, they are telling a hardcore statement. They are not telling may increase, might increase and all. They are definitely telling increase. Okay, so that there is no surety. That is why, as I told, you should always choose the best one. So here answer will be 4 and 5 only. And here I have marked it difficult for this reason only, because in exam hall, in 30 seconds or 1 minute, you cannot solve this question. Okay. Unless, as I told you, skip the passage, directly read the question, maybe in 30 seconds or 1 minute, you will solve it. Okay. If you were able to decide between this 3 and 5. So that is why this is a difficult category. And there is no need, as I told, to do all the 80 questions. In 80 questions, you have to do total 27 only. And in that 80, 26, 27 are passages. Okay. So in that passage, if you do all the things correct, you are already reached the cutoff, but you need not do that. That is the point. In 80, you can do 27, you can do at least like 15 passages if you make correct. That's also enough. Okay. Then you will do like 2 direction type question, 2 Venn diagram type question, then some 10 aptitude question. You overall will get 27. Okay. You will clear the cutoff. Now, next one. Again, those who want to pause can pause. India faces a challenging immediate future in energy and climate policy making. The problems are multiple. Okay, like India has a lot of problems. Sputtering fossil fuel, production capabilities, limited access to electricity, modern cooking fuel for the poorest, then rising fuel import is in an unstable global energy context. Okay, like Russia-Ukraine war and all is happening. Then continued electricity pricing, governance challenges leading to its costly deficit or surplus supply, and not least growing environmental contestation around land, water and air. Okay, so they are telling this much problems in the this first half is full of problems. Okay, then they are telling, but all is not bleak, meaning everything is not like so bad or in bad shape. Okay, there is growing energy efficiency programs, there is integrated urbanization, transport policy discussion, in-road enhancing energy access and security, then bold renewable energy initiatives are there, and even if not fully conceptualized, suggest the promise of transformation, meaning we are doing good in that. Okay, there are a lot of problems, but we are doing good. Okay, that is the thing. So now, critical message. What is a critical message? Best critical message. Okay, so India's energy decision making is ever more complex and interconnected. Okay, because we have a lot of problems, obviously it is complex. Now, India's energy and climate policy is heavily tuned to sustainable development goals. There is nowhere told like we are looking everything like sustainable development goal. Okay, because we are again, we are making coal plants and all these things and all. Even though again I'm telling these are not even mentioned in the passage. So this anyway is wrong. Okay. Now, India's energy and climate actions are not compatible with its broader social, economic, environmental goal. Okay, here they're telling it is tuned to sustainable. Here they're telling it is not tuned to any goals. Okay, so either way, both of the things are not told in the passage. This also wrong, this also wrong. Okay, then India's energy decision-making process is straightforward, supply-oriented, and ignore the demand side. Okay, India will never ignore one side and only supply side they'll take it. That India will never do. So this again is wrong. So answer is simple, first one. Okay, so this is kind of easy question I will say. Okay, easy, answer A. Now next one. Passage number 10. There are reports that some of the antibiotics sold in the market are fed to poultry and other livestock as growth promoter. Okay, meaning to like make the chicken size bigger, or maybe the animal they are having the size bigger. They are injecting antibiotics illegally. Okay, so overusing these substances can create superbugs, pathogens that are resistant to multiple drugs and could be passed along to humans also. Okay, so it's a problem. Now, mindful of that, some farming companies have stopped using the drugs to make chickens gain weight faster. Now, Denmark has banned it also, banned antibiotic growth promoter in the 1990s. The major pork exporter says, okay, this is a major pork exporter, it is producing more pigs and the animals get fewer disease, meaning after they banned these growth promoters, they are getting better results, better, healthier animals they are getting. Okay, so that is the overall passage. Now, reflects the critical message, best critical message. Okay, people should avoid consuming the products of animal farming. Nobody told you, okay, nobody told you to become a vegetarian or have your own animal and then eat only that, like that nobody told. Okay. Now, food of animal origin should be replaced with food of plant. Again, nobody told you to become, as I told, a vegetarian or a vegan in this passage. Okay, using antibiotics on animals should be banned. They didn't tell you to ban. Okay, they told that Denmark has banned antibiotic growth promoter. Okay, normal antibiotics you need, how will you treat the animals? Okay, so this also should be wrong. Okay, then antibiotics should only be used to treat diseases. This is correct. You should only use it for its own purpose, not like inject it as growth promoter. So answer should be D, and this is actually easy for me. If I was giving the exam, this is answer is D and it's easy. Okay, now next one. Pause and try to do it in 30 seconds. Okay, now shorter passages are, okay, these are shorter passages. So policymakers and media have placed the blame for skyrocketing food price on a variety of factors. Okay, including high fuel price, bad weather, in the key producing countries, and diversion of land to non-food production. Like there are many problems they are telling why the price is high. Okay, now increased emphasis, however, has been placed on a surge in demand for food from the most populous emerging economies. Okay, meaning like India and all populous emerging, we are a populous and emerging economy. So here demand for food is there, obviously we know that, and that is the reason for food price. That is also they are telling, and it seems highly probable that mass consumption of these countries could be well poised to create a food crisis. Meaning if India and all like or African countries or anyone who's emerging, they are having mass consumption, that also can lead to a food crisis. Okay, because food will not be available for that much high population, populous kind of country. Okay. So now with reference to above passage, the following assumptions, assumptions have been made. Oil producing countries are one of the reasons for high food price. There's nowhere told like they are the reason for high food price. Okay, it can be one of the reason, but they are not the major reason or the only reason. So this is wrong. Okay, now if there is a food crisis in the world in near future, it will be in the emerging economy. This again, they have not told. Okay, they are told that emerging economy may face it, that doesn't mean definitely if there is a food crisis it has to be from this thing. Okay, maybe one of the richest countries like maybe USA or Europe, any country can face food crisis. Okay, there is no one who is like surely going to tell that it will be from the emerging economy. Okay, it need not be from the emerging economy, it can happen anywhere. What if a war breaks out in like again Ukraine and all, and they all face food shortage? It can happen. Okay, Ukraine is like a kind of developed country only, but they may face it. Okay, so that is why these both are wrong. So here above assumptions are valid, none of the valid. Answer is neither one nor two. Okay, so this is again an easy question. Now next one. A central message of modern development economics is the importance of income growth, by which is meant growth in GDP. Okay, meaning in modern development economy and all, they are telling increasing growth is important and it's like equivalent to increasing GDP. Okay, in theory, rising GDP creates employment and obviously investment opportunity. As incomes grow in a country where the level of GDP was once low, household, community and government are increasingly able to set aside some fund. Okay, meaning suppose your GDP was low. Okay, and suppose now it started increasing. Okay, income grows. Then these people, household, community, government, everyone will have some extra fund, right? That extra fund will be used for the production of things that make for a good life. Today, GDP has assumed such a significant place in the development lexicon that if someone mentions economic growth, we know they mean growth in GDP. Okay, meaning it's kind of synonymous now. If somebody tells, okay, your economic is growing, that means your GDP is growing. Or somebody tells your economy is going down, that means your GDP is going down. So that is like kind of a synonymous. Okay, now with reference to above passage, the following assumptions have been made. Okay, rising GDP is essential for a country to be a developed country. Okay, even though it is synonymous, that doesn't mean that rising GDP is essential for being a developed country. Okay, there can be many other factors. Okay, maybe a new mineral has been discovered there, or something will happen that it will overnight change the country's thing to make it a developed country. Okay, so that is why rising GDP is not essential. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, not essential. Rising GDP guarantees a reasonable distribution of income to all household. There is no guarantee. Even now, India's GDP is going very high, but that doesn't mean all our household are getting equal income or proper distribution is there. So this also is wrong. So this again is a very easy question. Neither one nor two. Okay, easy. Answer D. Same like previous question. Now, with respect to what are called denominations of religion, if everyone is left to be a judge of his own religion, okay, meaning suppose everybody are judging their own religion, Hindus will talk about Hindus, Muslims will talk about Muslims, then there is no such thing as religion that is wrong. Obviously, because they will tell only good things about their religion. Okay, Hindu will tell, okay, our religion is the best, Muslims will tell their religion is the best. Okay, but now suppose if there are to be a judge of each other's religion. Okay, meaning Hindu will tell about Muslim, Muslim will tell about Hindi, then there is no such religion as a right thing. Okay, because Hindus will tell all these Muslim things are wrong, you are following just one holy book, Quran, this thing, and then Muslims will tell about bad things about Hindus, like you have like the 30,000 plus gods and this thing. So both will blame each other. So there is nothing that is right. Okay, so they are telling like that. Now therefore, all the world is right or all the world is wrong. Okay, in the matter of religion. Okay, there is no perfect right, there is no perfect wrong. Either everyone is right or everyone is wrong, depending on who is judging it. Okay, that is the gist of this paragraph, very small paragraph. Okay, now what is the most logical assumption? Okay, no man can live without adhering to some religious denomination. Okay, I don't think such a thing is told in this, like no man can live. Okay, so we'll read each of the statement. It is the duty of everyone to propagate one's religion. Okay, that is completely wrong. Okay, it's not like duty like, okay, you go and tell around the world that you are in passage also it's not told, in general also it is not told. So this is wrong. Okay, definitely wrong. Now religious denominations tend to ignore the unity of man. This looks kind of true. Okay, religious denominations tend to ignore the unity. There's no unity, obviously. You are telling bad about them, they are telling bad about you. There is never a unity. Okay, then men do not understand their own religious denomination. That is wrong. Okay, maybe they don't understand other person's religion, but their own religion they will understand in a way. Okay, so this also is wrong. So C and A, the most logical or the best one, I will tell the answer should be C only. Okay, because here there's no this thing like no man can live. Okay, because there are people who are living without religion also. Okay, so answer medium, answer C. Okay, so correct only. Now, next one, pause the thing, passage number 14. It is certain that seditions, wars, and contempt or breach of laws are not so much to be imputed to the wickedness of the subjects as to the bad state of a dominion. Okay, so it's telling about this bad things happening in a thing and all in a society. So for men are not born fit for citizenship, but must be made so. Okay, meaning you are not born fit for a proper this thing, but you can be made. Now, besides, men's natural passions are everywhere the same, and if wickedness more prevails and the more offences are committed in one commonwealth than in other, it is certain that the former, okay, meaning men's natural passion, the former has neither enough pursued the end of unity nor framed its law with sufficient forethought, and that therefore it has failed in making quite good its right as a commonwealth. Okay, so it's overall, if you see, I understand it's a very difficult passage, and these kind of questions you should skip in the exam hall. Okay, this May 28th you will face such a thing where philosophy is being talked. Simply don't waste your time. Okay, unless if you want, you can directly read the question and see. Sometimes there will be easy options and you can do as I told. Whenever it's a difficult question, there will be a easy options. Okay, so we'll see the options first. Okay, which among the following is the most logical and rational inference? Okay, inference. So seditions, wars, and breach of the laws are inevitable in every dominion. Okay, so every dominion is an extreme statement. Okay, you cannot tell. There are many peaceful countries and places where there is no thing happening, like in Europe and all. Many countries, they are shutting down the jails and everything because no crime is happening there. Okay, so this is wrong. Now, it is not the people but the sovereign who is responsible for all the problems of any dominion. Again, see, all the problems of any dominion, they are telling it is the sovereign, the government who is responsible. Again, a very extreme statement. So I told, right, whenever there is a difficult passage, please immediately before going to the next question, okay, thinking it is difficult, please read the question once. You will see that question will be very easy. Okay, now that dominion is the best which pursues the aim of unity and has laws for good citizenship. Okay, so there is a dominion, they're telling which is the best dominion, which pursues the aim of unity. Okay, here they talked, somewhere I saw like they're talking about the end of unity, pursued the end of unity, and has laws for good citizenship. Okay, like you need to make a person a good citizen, it's also mentioned. So this is kind of something which is told in the passage. Okay, so mark it here. Now it is impossible, okay, that will be wrong. It is impossible for men to establish a good dominion. There is nothing impossible. I told you a few questions back also. Whenever they tell something is impossible, that question readily eliminate. Okay, so my answer is here, answer C. Official answer key, answer C. See, difficult passage, easy options. So please, if you had even skipped this, don't even read this. Just if you have read this, 3 extreme options you eliminated and directly got the answer. So please, I want all Vysh students to go and do this. Okay, on May 28th, CSAT, you should definitely pass. Okay, morning paper, I know I have done enough and more teaching for you, but last year few of our students failed CSAT, and that is why I am doing this extra effort. Okay, because I want you to pass GS1 and CSAT both. Now next one, inequality violates a basic democratic norm. Okay, what it is violating? It is violating the equal standing of citizens. Obviously, inequality is opposite of equality. Okay, now equality is a relation that obtains between persons in respect of some fundamental characteristic that they share in common. Equality is, morally speaking, a default principle, meaning everybody should be okay with this equality concept. Okay, now therefore persons should not be discriminated on any of this, race, caste, ethnicity, all these things. The features of human condition are morally irrelevant. These features, okay, if any discrimination is there, that is irrelevant. So the idea that one should treat persons with respect, not only because some of these persons possess some special features, okay, meaning like you are talented, you are cricketer, you are gifted musician, but because persons are human beings. Okay, you should not respect someone or treat them equally just because they are some skilled person. Generally, because they are human beings, it should be there, and by now part of common sense morality. Okay, meaning by default in your life it should be applicable everywhere. Equality should be something which is default. That is what I understand from this particular thing. Okay, now with reference to above passage, okay, here a lot of statements are there. Assumptions. Okay, equality is the prerequisite for people to participate in the multiple transactions of society from a position of confidence. Okay, it looks kind of general and this thing, I am not telling fully true, but it's kind of okay. Okay, so I'll mark it circle like this. Now, occurrence of inequality is detrimental to the survival of democracy. This is not mentioned here. Okay, they're telling that inequality is getting violated in democracy and all, but it's not like it is detrimental and it's like survival of democracy. The complete democracy will end because there is inequality. That I don't think it is correct. Okay, so 2 I will eliminate. So 2, if I eliminate, this 2 will go. Now 1 and 4, 3 and 4. So 4 becomes true. Okay, 4 is what? Right to equality should be incorporated into our values and day-to-day political vocabulary. Okay, so this, as I told, is assumptions. So directly it need not be there fully. Okay, but it is obviously telling, I told you the gist of the passage is what? Right to equality should be there, inbuilt in you, default in you. So it's like it should be there in your daily political vocabulary and all, it should be there. Equality is not debatable or something. It is applicable to everyone. So 4 is true. And anyway, with our elimination, 4 is definitely there in the answer. It's only about 1 and 3. Okay, so 1 we have circled and kept, 3 we'll see. Okay, equal standing of all citizens is an idea that cannot actually be realized even in a democracy. This is a very negative statement. They're again telling something like impossible. Okay, like you cannot achieve this thing even in a democracy. So I told impossible statements always eliminate. Eliminate 3. Answer, my answer is 1 and 4. Official answer key is C, 1 and 4. Yeah, it's correct only. Okay, so like this you have to solve. Okay, you have to take the best possible, and I told you the difference. What is the difference between inference and difference between assumption? Assumption means what you select here, these statements may not be fully properly there in the passage, but it is a assumption you are making out of it. Okay, what is the conclusion you are making out of it? So here 1 and 4 is correct. Now next one, aristocratic government ruins itself by limiting too narrowly the circle within which power is confined. Okay, so this is about aristocratic government. Oligarchic government ruins itself by the incautious scramble for immediate wealth. Okay, so they are also having some problem. Even democracy ruins itself by excess of democracy. Okay, so meaning anything is more or anything they do in excess. Here they are running behind wealth, here they are running behind democracy, here they are running behind power. So it is ruining themselves. Okay, so its basic principle is the equal right of all to hold office and determine public policy. Okay, it's about democracy. They're telling we have like everybody is equal, like you can become the prime minister, you can become anything, hold office is there. Okay, this is at first glance a delightful arrangement. Okay, this looks good. But it becomes disastrous because the people are not properly equipped by education to select the best rulers. Okay, because even though we have this full setup, democracy setup, do you think we are always selecting best leaders or best rulers and all? We are not doing it because there is a lack of education, okay, to select that. The people have no understanding and only repeat what their rulers are pleased to tell them. Okay, meaning they will tell something in the election campaign speech, you will repeat that, you will believe that. Okay, so such a democracy is tyranny or autocracy, and is told by Plato. Okay, so this even in your ethics paper and other things you can use this actually. Okay, this if you at least a portion of this if you study, you can use in your main answers as an opening line if a question comes about democracy or about different types of government. Okay, now crux questions are usually easy. So here if you see, human societies experiment with a different form of government. Okay, that is a true thing, but in this passage they are not telling any such thing that it is like you are experimenting and all. Then any form of government tend to deteriorate by excess of its basic principle. This is what I told you in the first opening line. Okay, when you are doing something in excess, you are running behind power, you are running behind wealth, you are running behind democracy, you will ruin. Ruin is this one, deteriorate, it means ruin only. Now we will read this. Education of all citizens ensures a perfect, functional and sustainable democracy. This is true only. Okay, but that doesn't guarantee you. Okay, one second. Okay, the education of all citizens ensures this. Okay, this may be true. Okay, but that doesn't mean it has to be perfect. Okay, there are many countries where everyone are educated, everyone are literate, but they will choose the worst rulers sometimes, worst leaders sometimes. Okay, so this is a wrong statement. Now having a government is a necessary evil. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, you are telling government itself evil. Okay, because tyranny is inherent in any form of government. So they're telling everything is wrong. This is a complete total negative. You can eliminate there. Okay, so there is no doubt this is the answer. Okay, answer B. So it's an easy question because whatever they told in the opening line, that itself they have given here. Okay, now passage 17. Nothing can exist in a natural state which can be called good or bad by common assent. Since every man who is in a natural state consult only his advantage. The same like that Hindu-Muslim thing. Okay, there they told Hindu-Muslim better or not. Here they're telling about good or bad. Meaning, when one person is judging himself, he will obviously tell what? His own advantage he will check, determines what is good or bad according to his own fancy. And in so far, he has regard for his own advantage alone and holds himself responsible to no one save himself by any law, and therefore sin cannot be conceived in a natural state. Meaning there is nothing wrong. Okay, he is judging it, he is correct, he is perfect, everything he. Okay, so but only in a civil state. Okay, here they told about natural state, and there they are telling civil state. Okay, natural means that only that one person they are telling about themselves. There is no governments, there is no anybody else regulating them, nothing. Okay, so civil state means a proper civilized state which is decreed by common consent. Okay, there is a consensus between everyone and between good or bad, and each one holds himself responsible to the state. Okay, to the government or the this thing. Okay, like we the people of India, that kind of thing. So now, which one of the following is the central idea? Okay, central ideas are usually easy. So the the conceptions of what is right or wrong exist due to the formation of state. Okay, this is in a kind of way it is okay. Okay, like whether it is a natural state or a civilized state, based on that only you have that meaning, definition, what is right, what is wrong. Okay, now unless a ruling authority decides as to what is right or wrong, no man would be morally right. This again is like an impossible kind of thing, as I told. No man can be this thing and all. So this is wrong. Okay, this you don't even care. Next one, man is inherently immoral, selfish in a natural state. In a natural state, yes, he is immoral and he is kind of selfish. Okay, but selfish is little, okay, selfish is correct, but immoral is not very true kind of thing. Okay, selfish is little fine. He cares about himself only. Now, the idea of what is right or wrong is necessary for the survival of human species. There is no such thing. Okay, like without even knowing what is right, what is wrong, the entire world is living. Okay, there are many people who have no idea what is happening and still they are living. Okay, so that is anyway gone. So A and C. This is why these kind of questions are a little difficult. Okay, where it comes in, two options are almost correct. Okay, but still, if you ask best to me here, because there is a state, that is why there is a difference or a definition. Okay, this immoral and selfish, very negative statement, I will choose the positive one here. Okay. So here answer is A. Okay, correct only. Answer is A only. This is the official answer key. Okay, so as I'm telling, if you are finding such questions debatable and difficult, you have to go with UPSC answer key. And another thing is UPSC anyway not going to repeat this passage. Okay, but a similar question comes. Okay, and you are stuck with a positive and negative in this kind of thing. You feel which is the best possible, choose that one. Okay, here as I told, in my mind, this one was the best possible. So I took this one. Okay, so it need not be always correct. So that's what I'm telling. Every passage you don't have to do. Now 17 passages I discussed. In this, at least if you done 8 or 9 correctly, that was more than enough. Okay, but you should know which 8 and 9 to do. Not like attempt all 17 and make many negative marking. Okay, you should do the best ones which you find it easy. Okay, now very lengthy, so obviously the options. Okay, we'll directly see the passage first. Too much globalization is not in the best interest of any country. Very, very negative statement. They're gone. This is what I told. 1 everything gone. Answer, I got it. How much time I took? 2 seconds. 2 seconds I got 2.5 marks. This is what you have to do in the exam hall. Okay, see a big passage, directly go to the question. Okay, see a big passage, let me see the answer. Answer C. Yeah, correct only. Answer C only. Okay, as I'm telling, when you see a big thing, without reading, directly go. This UPSC is helping you. And this trick, no coaching class is teaching you. Okay, everybody are telling, read the passage, get a formula, get a this thing, you don't have to do anything. I have analyzed last 15-20 years of question papers myself. That's why I'm telling you. What I tell, it will be correct only. Okay, I am simply not telling blunder predictions. I am telling based on my analysis. Okay, so here, see, I didn't read any of the statement. I got the answer. Okay, so still if you want, you can read. Modern technologies are increasingly blurring the economic borders. Okay, meaning technologies are improving. So now it's like as if there is no border. Everybody are, it's kind of a definition of globalization only. Okay, everybody are crossing the borders and it's like blur lines are there between countries. So 2 is there. Then innovation and capital have impinged on the domain of the state. Okay, so more than government, the money, the capital that you can see, like Elon Musk and the influence he has in American economy and all, that you can see. So kind of true. Then public policy of every country should focus on developing its own supply chain. Okay, public policy of every country should focus on developing its own supply chain. In this era of globalization, you don't need to develop everything by yourself and also this is very doubtful negative statement. Now, geopolitics will have to reconcile to many ambiguities and uncertainties. Obviously, you have a lot of problems, so geopolitics will have to face all these problems. That is why 2, 3, 5 is correct. It looks, even without reading passage, I'm telling all these things to you. Okay, this is just a simple thing about globalization they are asking. If you read this also, in the immediate future, we'll see that there are increasing commodification of many new technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, 3D printing, custom-made biology, many driverless car, many things are going to happen, and this will pose conundrums. The moral question of how a driverless car will decide between hitting a jaywalker and serving and damaging the car, meaning they're just telling this only. You are introducing driverless car, fine. Okay, now they will maybe work properly, but what if it goes and hits some person? Okay, so that decision making is made by who? Okay, because there are many people involved in this globalization era. If you see here, this is the thing. Okay, driverless car, who will, if any problem happen, who will you go and like give case against? Okay, you will give the person who made the car, the German company or the Irish company who made the car, or the code writer who is originally from California, or the software programmer who may be from India in Hyderabad, he write the portion of a code of it. So which national jurisdiction you will go and give case against them? Okay, so that is what they are telling here, and that is what is the passage. Okay, but without the passage I could solve this question. So this was a very easy question actually for me. So I am again telling you, big passage, directly read the question. Next one, economy. The resolution of bankruptcy cases of Indian Bank under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code should help bring non-performing asset situation under some control. Okay, meaning you have this new policies which government and RBI is doing, so we can bring it under some control. Now, despite the slow pace of resolution by the National Company Law Tribunal, the code can be helpful in cleaning up bank book. Okay, meaning again, it can help in cleaning the book. The recapitalization of public sector banks too can help increase the capital cushion of banks and induce them to lend more and boost economic activity. Meaning, first they are telling about the solutions we have. Okay, we have National Company Law Tribunal, we have this Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, and you cleaned up. But after cleaning up, what you will do? You will put money into the bank, recapitalization, and they're telling you will get more money now, so you can lend more money, you will get more economic activity. Okay, now but bad debt resolution and recapitalization, meaning the two things which we told above, are only a part of the solution, as they by themselves can do very little to rein in reckless lending that has pushed the Indian banking system to its current sorry state. Meaning, as I told, during that Congress government time, you remember, that is what this RBI also told, okay, that lot of loans were given to many people, and it was like indefinitely given, and that is why our economy is in a very sorry state. Okay, and then we brought in this insolvency code and this thing, that thing and all, and so people started running out of the country. You will see everything started after 2016-17 only. You will see Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, then some again some people, relatives of those people, they all started running out of the country only when 2016-17, after demonetization, after insolvency bankruptcy code, after that only people started running out. Okay, so you doing all this is just a temporary solution. So unless there are systematic reforms that address the problem of unsustainable lending, future credit cycle will continue to stress the banking system. So you need a long-term solution. This is the very easy passage and very easy question. They are telling logical, rational, practical suggestion. Okay, now first statement. Lending by the banks should be closely monitored and regulated by central government. That is okay, but that is not told in this passage. Okay, it's not told in this passage. Next one, interest rate should be kept low. There is nothing such thing told. Merger of many banks into a few large bank alone is long term. This alone, there's nobody who's to decide like this is the only solution. So obviously we got the answer. Indian banking system requires structural reform as a long-term solution. Obviously we need a proper long-term solution. So this is a very easy question actually, like a GS question only. Answer D. Passage number 20. We are about to finish, only 5 more passages, and all are small passages, I think. In India, the objective of macroeconomic policy is to enhance the economic welfare of the people, and any one wing of such macro policy. Okay, you know this macro policy, I have myself taught you. Monetary policy, which is done by the RBI, and this fiscal policy, which is done by the government. Okay, these are the two methods by which Indian government will control inflation or repair the economy. So here they are telling they cannot independently work without active support of another. Okay, so that we know. This is a very, I think, the smallest question you have in this paper. Okay, just one line, just one sentence. Okay, so which one of the best is the best corollary? Again, same thing only. Best outcome or best meaning which you understand from this. The central bank cannot work independently of the government. True. Okay, for me this itself is the answer, but still we'll read. Government should regulate financial market and institution closely. Okay, but in this passage, nowhere they are telling government to regulate anything. Market economy is not compatible with the socialist policy of the government. Nothing such is taught here. Then financial sector reforms are required for enhancing the economic welfare of the people. Yes, we need the reforms, but this passage is not telling about that. This passage is telling that any one of the wing, okay, not about just reforms for enhancing the people's this thing and all. They both cannot work independently. That is the gist. So for me, the answer is that only, and it's a very easy question. Answer A. Now next one. Okay, it's a big passage. Let me see this thing. We'll directly see the question. Okay. By this time, I hope you know how to solve things now. Which of the following statements best reflect the central idea? Efficacy of universities would be better in online mode of conducting classroom tuition as compared to conventional method. Okay, they're telling so one is better than the other. So that we have to see. Same like that street light question which we see. We have to see in this. I think we'll have to read the passage. Okay, but still we'll read. Availability of higher education can be made easier and cheaper without diluting the content. Okay, so they are telling a method that it can be content. Okay, now we need not invest much in infrastructure. That is anyway, it's a very negative statement. I will eliminate here itself. Related to higher education and yet develop better. This is very negative statement. Okay. Then private sector institutions in higher education as well as coaching institutes can take advantage of this opportunity and thrive. Okay. So about this opportunity means obviously I think we have to read. Okay. So this time my judgment was wrong. Here we have to read the passage. The best universities like Harvard and MIT, despite having the luxury of having some truly excellent teachers on their payroll, are increasing. Okay. This is about flipped classroom. Okay. Flipped classroom is a new concept. Okay. Same like our online class and all. What these big universities are doing is students don't have to go to class. Okay, videos will be given, recorded videos will be given to the students. They will watch everything, they will learn everything by themselves from home. Then you will come to class, you have to come to class. Okay, next day you will come and then you will discuss whatever doubts you have, you ask. Teachers will maybe give you some extra questions based on that, but they will not teach you in class. From home or somewhere, teacher would have recorded and they will give you. Okay, so every night you have to watch one video and come to the classroom just for discussion. That is called flipped classroom. Okay, students listen to video lectures at home, spend class time applying their knowledge, solving problem. You will do directly practicals kind of thing. Okay, professor guide that discussion and fill in wherever necessary, explaining those bits that seem to be eluding the students and throwing in advanced ideas that happen to be topical. So you will now have advanced discussion rather than sitting and reading the book in the classroom. Okay. So these universities have made their video lectures available free for anyone in the world. They are also encouraging colleges and universities all over the world to integrate these online courses into their own pedagogy, picking the pieces of approach. So whatever you need as per your this thing, you can customize their free course and use it. That is what these USA people universities are telling to the world. Okay. Now if you see this is anyway wrong. Okay, don't need infrastructure and all is anyway wrong. Now availability of higher education can be made easier and cheaper without diluting the content. Easier, right? Cheaper, right? Higher education also, right? Content won't be compromised. This also is a kind of right. Okay, but here efficacy of university would be better in we can't tell this. As I told about conventional classroom method, this passage doesn't discuss. Same like our that white light and sodium light question, they don't discuss. Then how can we tell it is better or not? Okay, so don't assume things here. They are asking for the central idea, so only what is in the passage that you have to worry. So this also I eliminated. Okay, now we are stuck with B and D. Private sector institution in higher education as well as coaching institutes can take care of this opportunity and thrive well. They indeed can do that because it's open to all. But in this, they are not particularly telling about this private sector coaching and all. More best option if you see, because they're asking for best, my answer is this one. Okay. So medium, answer B. Okay. So as I told, these are all official answer keys. So that is why I am explaining you why that question is right or wrong, because you might be not happy with every answer which you see. Okay. In your mind, you will have some other answer, but official answer key is different. I will show you more examples, then you will understand what I am talking about. Okay. 22. Our cities are extremely vulnerable to climate change. Okay. We know that because of large concentration of population and poor infrastructure. Moreover, population densities are increasing in them, but we have not yet developed the system to address climate change impact. Okay, maybe we have not developed proper systems. Our cities contribute to 65% of GDP, but there are not enough facilities to cater to the need of the people. It is important to address the issues of air quality, transport, etc. that are vital to identifying sustainable solution. We need to involve citizens in city planning and create an ecosystem that meets the need of the people. So basically what they're telling you, have to create a system where all the problems get solved. Over. This is the simple thing. What is the logical inference? Our cities need to have a well-defined administrative setup with a sufficient autonomy, means that is all totally different. Okay, autonomy means you have to get a proper freedom and proper governance. Is a totally different thing. Okay, so that is wrong. Ever increasing population density is the hindrance. That is again negative statement. Okay, just because you cannot repair the system, you cannot tell that, okay, go and control your population. So that is also wrong. To maintain and develop our cities, we need to adopt sustainability related interventions. True. Public-private partnership mode of development is the viable long-term solution for this. Can be true, but this is nowhere mentioned in the passage. Okay, so this is wrong. Answer is C. Easy question. 23 about again democracy. Can a democracy avoid being a welfare state for long? Why cannot mass welfare be left entirely to the market? See, this is actually continuation of that same passage. Okay, they have used one passage broken into two and made two questions. Okay, so there is a built-in tension between markets and democracy. Market do not work on a one person, one vote principle as democracy do. What one gets out of the marketplace depends on one's endowments, skill, purchase power, force of demand. So they're comparing basically what is the market and what is the democracy. Okay, so markets reward individual initiative and skill and may lift many from the bottom rungs of society, but some people never get the opportunity to develop skills that market demand. They are simply too poor and too handicapped, or skill formation takes too long. By creating jobs, markets may be able to help even unskilled people, but capitalism has always witnessed burst of unemployment. Okay, so they are telling about all the things. Okay, the market how it is, capitalism how it is, government democracy how it is. Now we'll see with reference to the above passage following assumptions. Modern democracy relies on the market forces to enable them to be welfare state. Modern democracies rely on the market forces. They are not telling they rely on the market force and all. They are just doing a comparison between democracy and market forces for this. So this is wrong. Okay. Market ensures sufficient economic growth necessary for democracy to be effective. This ensure is like a very hardcore statement. Okay. And they are not ensuring. They can or they cannot. Okay. So this is also wrong. So I think you got the answer there. If you eliminate one and then 2 also you eliminate, answer is 3 only. Let me read the third one. Government programs are needed for those left behind in economic growth. Okay. So here if you see, they're telling many are left in the bottom rungs of the society. Many are like unskilled people. So obviously market is not able to solve these things. That means government has to interfere. So that is the assumption you can make out of the data given in this. I told you assumption means you have to take a assumption based on the data. But that assumption should not be like this hardcore statements. Okay. Okay, these are hardcore statements that they relies totally on that, or it is ensuring that it will happen like that. So there's no assurance and all here, like are needed. Okay, they are just telling a suggestion, are needed. So this is the assumption you can make. Answer B, 3 only. Okay, so in our schools, we teach our children all that is there to know about physics, maths, history, and what have you, meaning all subjects you teach. But do we teach them about the bitter caste divide, or about the famine issues, about gender sensitivity, atheism, choice? Then equally important, do we teach them to ask questions, or we just teach them to passively receive our wisdom, meaning simply sit and listen whatever teachers tell? Then from the cocooned world of school, suddenly the adolescent finds himself herself in the unfettered world of university. Okay, meaning school level they told all the bad things, and now telling they'll suddenly go to university. Here he or she is swept up in a turmoil of ideas, influence, ideologies. For someone who has been discouraged from asking questions and forming an opinion, this transition can be painful. Okay, school to university, where suddenly when you simply by hearted a lot of books to a place where you will have to ask questions and do practical, that transition is painful. So what is the central idea? School curriculum is not compatible with the expectation of children and parents. Here nowhere about parents, nothing is told in this passage. Okay, even though the statement is true, it is not told. Okay, and parents concerned, nothing is told here. So emphasis on academic achievements does give time for development on personality and skills. There is no such thing told here that if you have academic achievement, your skill will improve or you have time. It's not told. Preparing the children to be better citizens should be the responsibility of the education system. Preparing the children to the better is actually true. Okay, but in passage it's not written. Okay, it's actually true, but in passage it's not written. To be a better citizen, the present world order demands societal and life coping skills in addition to academic content. This is what they're telling. In school, you are taught only academic content, and suddenly you transition to the university. You don't have life skills. You don't know what is the problems in society. So this is what will make you a better citizen. This is the correct central idea what the author is trying to tell. Okay, answer is D. Now one more question after this. So medieval merchants risked the hazards of Silk Road to reach the market of China. Okay, the old Silk Road was there. Even I taught you in ancient history and all, medieval also. So they go to China. Portuguese caravels in the 15th century sailed beyond the bounds of the known world, searching less for knowledge than for gold. Okay, meaning they are not searching for knowledge or books or this thing and all like our Chinese people and all who came to learn Buddhism and all. They actually went for gold and spice only, for money. Okay, so historically, the driver for opening frontiers has always been the search for resources. Okay, science and curiosity are weak. Okay, it's not for science you are going, it's not for curiosity you are going for resources, which will ultimately give you money. So the only way to open up space, whether the space of solar system or interstellar space, is to create an economic engine, and that engine is resource extraction. Okay, so if you have to develop interest in space and space exploration and all, it is not any curiosity or very love for science and all. It is when you have to go and extract some resources which will ultimately gain you money. That is the trigger which can trigger humans. Okay, so we got it. Now we'll see this thing. What best sums up? Okay, again the summary. Wealth generation is the primary objective for any human endeavor. This is kind of true, but it's very extreme. Okay, like any human endeavor is like very extreme, but we'll keep it on hold. Space, whether space in solar system or interstellar space, will govern our future economy. They are not going to govern our future economy and all. This is like a very blunder statement. Then human beings are motivated to explore new frontiers principally by economic consideration. This is also correct. Okay, you are motivated that money is there, resources are there, so I will go. Wealth generation is based on risk-taking behavior of men. Again, I told you it's not because you want adventure or you are taking risk and all. This is not correct. Okay, so here if you see wealth generation in any is very extreme. So for me, the best one, here we are looking for best one is C. Okay, because it clearly tells the same thing which we read in the passage. Humans are getting motivated or triggered when you see new frontiers only when they are principally guided by economic consideration. There is some resource there. There is something which you go, like spices are there, some gold is there, or some in Silk Road you go and in China you get something. Markets are there. So that is why it's triggered. Okay, but that doesn't mean wealth generation is the primary motive. Okay, primary motive is the ultimate motive. It's not the primary motive. Okay, for any human endeavor, that is the biggest negative statement here. Okay, any human endeavor. So answer is C. Last question, meaning last passage, 2 questions. And this, if you see, is a very debatable one. I'll tell you why. So, most people would agree that telling deliberate lies is wrong. Okay. Except perhaps in certain special situations where more harm will be done by telling the truth. Even the most truthful people probably tell a good many more lies that might be regarded as semantic lies. Their use of words contains some measure of falsehood, more or less deliberate. So, this one, the options if you see, okay, what is the idea from the first part of the passage? Agreement about telling lies, disagreement about telling lies, disagreement about telling the truth, disagreement about the harm in telling the truth. So this question, I know 99% people will skip this because these are all opposite to each other. Okay, disagreement and agreement, just one word they are changing. So what UPSC had in mind, the examiner's mind, that depends on what the answer will be. Okay. Here, every coaching class, if you search now, today, if you want to simply search UPSC 2021 CSAT YouTube analysis by any teacher, any big coaching class, everybody has told the answer as A. Okay. Because in the first line it is told, most people would agree that telling deliberate lie is wrong. Okay. So, there is an agreement about telling lies. But official answer key of UPSC is answer D. Okay. So, this even me, if I had to do it, I will skip this question only because it is very close options. Okay. Based on what they are thinking. Here they are telling disagreement about the harm in telling the truth. Okay. So this one, meaning I hope you understood. They are telling this passage, like many people are telling lies and it is wrong. But you know that sometimes hiding the truth, telling a truth, lie purposely is better. Okay. Because you don't want to hurt the opposite person. Okay. There are some special situation where more harm will be done by telling the truth. Okay. So better don't tell the truth. Tell them some lie and then pacify them. Okay. So that also some people agree. So even the most truthful person will tell many lies. That is what they are telling. Most truthful person will tell many lies and that is regarded as semantic lies. Okay. they have some falsehood which are more or less deliberate. It can be deliberate, it can be not deliberate. It can happen from truthful people also, from the most truthful people also. This is the overall thing. But here they are in the first part of the passage, so you have to read about from here to here. Okay. So this except is the reason the answer is D. Okay. Because first line, if you read, most people would agree that telling deliberate lies is wrong. Then you can tell, yeah, agreement about telling lies. Okay. But here except, perhaps in certain special situations where more harm will be done by telling the truth. Okay, so about this thing, because there's an except, this most people agree won't fit. That means what? Most people disagree also. There are some people who agree, some people who disagree. That's why you have told except in a case, perhaps in certain special situation. So there is a disagreement about the harm in telling the truth. This is what my conclusion is, seeing the answer key. Okay, I'm not telling that I could solve this and this is my logic and all. After seeing the answer key to justify UPSC, I am telling that this is how they would have interpreted it. The examiner would have interpreted it. So answer is D. Okay, so but I don't know why every other coaching class is still telling the answer as A. Okay, I've seen some people who even made the video after the official answer key is out. Still they are telling the answer as A. Okay, but in UPSC answer key, it is D. Okay, this is the answer key. Now, second question from this is very easy one. Okay, which one of the following habit is found more often in good people? Okay, they're telling mixing up true or false, intentionally mixing up true or false, falsification of fact, complete concealment of truth. Okay, so this, even if suppose you did not read the passage, if you see here, falsification of fact, they're asking about good people. Okay, good people, falsification is a very opposite statement. Okay, and complete concealment, like good people will not completely conceal the truth. So this two anyway gone. Now this purposely to disturb you, they put this extra word. Okay, mixing up true and false, intentionally mixing true and false. So here only we told you, okay, that some people, because they are good, they don't want to hurt the opposite person, they deliberately add some lies. They will tell that lie to pacify that person. Okay, they're purposely doing it. So intentionally mixing up truth and false, truth with the false is the sign of a good person. Okay, so here, this is one easy, answer B. Hope you have understood all the passages came in 2021. I have done the most detailed way till now in YouTube. I know how many people have done all these things, the paper analysis, and compared to them, the perfect answer key, not even one answer is wrong. Everything is from UPSC answer key. Everything is in a way that even a simple person who is weak in English or weak in passage, they would have understood. I have tried my best. Okay, so please tell in comment section, give a like. And now the next videos which will be coming up is in the same, there were 34 maths questions I will do in a separate video. There were around 14-15 aptitude questions I will do in a separate video. Venn diagram is already out. I told you last 5 years I did it together. Then the result was out, and then the rank details I have put. Then CSAT overall strategy, how to get that cutoff, I have explained in this video. And then the 24 exam. Okay, now 28 you people will give, 2023 people will give. Next year on May 26, the 24 prelims will be there. For that, about that strategy I have told. Then this one, how to reach the cutoff in the morning paper, in the general GS1 paper, I have explained in this video. Cutoff prediction I have done already. I have compared the cutoff of last 3 years. Everything is already published. Okay, economic survey of the latest year, 12 mini episodes already completed, uploaded. So everything what a student needs free of cost in this channel is uploaded. And still if you don't see it, and after the exam you see this, you will obviously come and message me, sir, I regret that I skipped your video. I regret that I saw your video after the prelims. So please watch whatever I upload, especially in these next last 1 week and this upcoming 3 days. Whatever I upload, please watch. It will double your score. Okay, I can guarantee you that. So please give your feedback. I'll be happy to hear that and respond. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.